me talk about my totem animal. I was trying to avoid that.
So, what I don't like about humanity,
Yeah, top of the list.
is extremes, but it's in a specific nuance.
Yeah.
And, for example, about feelings, okay? There are people who put feelings on top of everything. Like, oh, how you
That's
feel?
like the most important thing
reality.
of all, is how they view
and
their
then,
emotional impact on reality.
And then push back against it. And this is probably especially kind of political, in a political way, political nuance. But I think every person is political creature, whether he realizes it or not.
Definitely.
And the pushback is like, fuck your feelings, it's not important.
Yeah.
And it's just so the both of them are just wrong. And that's why you end up with extreme political agendas, or even like you will end up blind no matter what. Either you will be blind by your feelings, or you will be blind by your hate towards feelings. So in both ways you are getting screwed up by your own misinterpretation of the world, of your feeling,
Yeah. But it's weird. It's weird how feelings can totally trump out logic. It's just it is incredible. But any extreme used to be a river, I think, and that wants to find the sea, but it'll trickle up and die in a bowl of dust. So sooner or later, you've got to be a confluence to join the main river instead of being extremes. I mean, that's why, your extremities, that's your fingertips and your toenails and stuff, and that's why you've got to cut them down. So that's why I shave my foreskin. But any extremity, it is, by its very nature, not part of a whole. But at the same time, I've got to say it, mainstreams, I'm sick of mainstreams. I mean, I'm not going to lie. My wife told me this morning that I'm starting to look more and more like Joe Rogan. But I don't know whether that's a compliment or I'm got to get off the steroids, Joe. So, whatever we do, it has to be in some kind of balance. But so if you're one of the sheeple, and I've got nothing against sheeple, they're not all bad people, and but I'm the sheeple's poet, as you know. But following along in the herd mentality, the mainstream media. I mean, the reason YouTube is so hugely popular now is people are turned off to the mainstream. So we talked about the extreme and the mainstream. So where's what are we going to call the midstream? No.
The understand like that. This is the. Okay, I'm probably.
What?
Yeah.
What are you? What kind of stream are you?
I'm probably.
You're a pond.
I'm probably much more. The I don't know in English, but this Gaussian curve.
Yeah.
Like the normal distribution.
The bell curve.
Bell curve.
Yeah.
Of data.
Yeah.
So it's like it's normal. This is normal distribution of data. So it means basically like it's a statistical law. So it means like all 8 billion people on this planet, we follow this curve. So most people are in 67% from the middle.
The bell end.
Yeah. And they are considered normal.
Yeah.
Then you have till 95% in the middle, and
Yeah.
that's so from 67 to 95 it's abnormal,
Yeah.
and then the last 2.5% on the right side, on left side, that's extreme.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't mean you're extremist, but it's like Musk.
Yeah.
He's in this 2.5% on the extreme.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the 5%.
Yeah.
And I consider myself the same category because I can see stuff. I'm a visionary. I'm a prophet, and it was happening to me from very, very young age. Anyways, this was a disclaimer for what I'm about to say, and I already forgot.
Oh, you forgot your main point?
Yeah.
Was it about profits for profits?
But it was something on.
Or you know what the problem with
reaction to you.
extremist is it's too foggy. You can't see
now,
where you're
now
going.
Now I got it. So, my understanding of reality is that it always change,
Yeah.
and it is in my, like, that's how I live. So
It's your subjective version of
so
the Matrix.
actually, I think it's very objective because it's reality. Reality is everything changes. So the categorization about mainstream, I think mainstream, how I would use it as this extreme 5%, the top 5%, is like you have to apply it to the day and age you live in. So in 1700, newspaper.
Back when
right?
I was young, yeah.
Yeah. And then it was like, okay, the long time, 20th century, it was TV. And now it's basically YouTube and all other streaming platforms and social media. That's new mainstream. So I understand what you said, but I think to be very precise and say what you mean is people basically turned off the previous mainstream. You know what I mean?
Well, the mainstream changes, of course, like you say. You know, the mainstream is the path that the sheep, all bless them, follow.
Yeah.
And but if it's like lemmings running off a cliff, that's not a good thing. Then it'd be lucky if you got one extremist lemming going, "Hey lads, stop! It's a dead drop."
So okay,
that would be a good thing.
I just want
someone outside the norm.
Yeah.
But of course, extremist in its most negative connotation is someone who causes harm.
Yeah.
You know, they make trouble. You know,
and there are many. Like I think there is more than 5% overall from population that causes harm. So it's not going
on a
to
Saturday
be,
night.
It
goes up to about at least 50, doesn't it?
It's not going to be based on statistical law that we cannot get away from it. But it is caused by something else.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So if you lived in Nazi Germany and thought Hitler was a bad idea, at that time you'd be called an extremist.
Exactly.
Because you're not following the mainstream and invading Russia. So Soviet Union, as it's called.
He's
a freak. He's a deviant.
Yeah, so we established
Untermensch. Yeah. All the Ebers, they just look down
what
at
we
you.
hate about humanity, like
those Untermensch. Someone's got to do something about them.
Yeah. So here we go. Nigredo.
Oh, the Age of Nigredo. Darkness is upon us. Nigredo, as I prefer to pronounce it.
Okay.
So I think that is the actual Nigredo. Nigredo.
Okay.
Because
Nigredo.
that's how it should be pronounced.
Okay.
Yeah. But
so it goes along with how you catch your inspiration, how you transform your inspiration.
I popped down to Fritzl's secret cellar beneath the bunker, And like, where someone's going, hello, it's hollow. That's where I am. When they go low, we below. And so I delve deep into my psyche, get all through all the deviant porn and all the other crap out of the way, so that I can sink down into the demonic force, and where it's too warm for hell. Yeah. Satan's going, oh bloody hell, turn down the heat in here. I'm sweating like a pig, and to confront my shadow self, who's a bit elusive. I mean, Peter Pan had the right idea. Once you lose your shadow or your shadow self, then you're in trouble. You become disassociated with your whole being.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's important to, whether it's Montriana Buddhism, the Yib-Yam stuff and that, they had a demonic persona of all their worst parts.
Okay.
I call
That's
mine,
cool.
I call mine Schméagol. Schméagol, he's my alter Lego. My ego spelled with a silent L, as you know.
Yeah,
It's
I remember.
easy to build up,
Yeah.
piss easy to deconstruct, but it fucking hurts when you step on a piece. So searching for Schméagol down in the depths. But the problem with Schméagol, or your shadow self, is that the more attention you give it, like an online troll, the
It
bigger...
grows.
Yeah, it grows. So it has to be counterintuitive. So and that's the stepping outside of the norms of reality.
You see?
Just a little bit, not too extreme, about this much, and then so you can hold back. So Nigredo is part of the alchemy personal transformation path, and
What are the steps? Do you know the steps?
well, I managed to turn gold into bronze, but not the other way round. So that's a bit of a bummer. You could say that in a metaphorical sense. The steps, I knew them all. You start off, you got rubido, solutio, conatutio. It's about breaking down a solid element into its separate parts, and diluting it in a liquid substance, and then retracting it again. It's like splitting up yourselves and to become wholer, like an alloy, where you combine the best parts of you. I mean, even the shadow, it can give something shade. So there's positive things about the shadow.
Yeah, absolutely. I love my shadow.
Yeah, I'm attached to mine. But but at the same time,
I haven't been much thinking about like how what it would look like or like what it would be.
A shadowless world.
No.
Oh,
like my shadow.
that's stupid.
Like if you personify your shadow.
Yeah.
You get Schméagol.
Yeah, I've got Schméagol. Yeah.
How does he look?
Oh, it looks like, sometimes it can look like the most beautiful Schmetterling, which is German for butterfly, but he's more of a moth, at the most. And sometimes he looks hideous, and sometimes like a succubus. He looks really sexy, and yes. Oh,
that's some types of butterflies. Like
a sexy butterfly,
Yeah.
a sexy Schmetterling. Well, I suppose that's possible. Whatever flaps your wings, mate. But with your alter leg, what do you call a butterfly? What is it in Slovakian? Yeah,
it's motil.
Motil.
Yes, motil.
Yeah, it's not the greatest. I mean, papillon, papillon, the French word for
that's
it.
great.
Mariposa. In Spanish, Italian, and that, and babichka, in Russian, I believe.
Yeah.
Babichka. I mean, that's
Babushka.
pretty...
In
Babushka.
Russian, it's babushka, I guess.
Well,
babichka is in Slovakian, Czech. languages.
Isn't babichka butterfly?
Ah, okay.
Maybe
okay.
maybe the bitch was lying. I don't know.
Babichka in Slovakian and
Yeah?
Czech is a grandma.
I think someone was maybe
But
putting
you know what I
my
call
caterpillar.
butterfly?
What? Motil. Yeah.
Motil.
Motil. Yeah, it's not great, but yeah.
Basically, the clitoris,
Uh-huh.
if you just extend it,
Okay.
it looks like a butterfly.
I tried doing that to mine, but it just goes back into its roots. So, right, okay, so it's, yep. Now I'm thinking about clitorises. Yeah. Where do we go from here? Another part, I'm speaking as feminists. Oh, God, it's like...
So, okay, we were talking about the shadow self, and you got this moth on the bad days, and on the good days, it's a butterfly. Yep, so on a good day...
on a good day, it's a moth. Schméagol is kind of a moth. You know,
Okay.
he's a creature of the night, while you, my dear, are a creature of delight. So there is a stark contrast.
Mm.
I get sick of Schméagol and all his bullshit, you know.
Me too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I met him few times.
You've met my Schméagol?
Just kidding, but I might, yeah, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. But I just got to, on his behalf, I apologise. So, yeah, my Schméagol can be a bit of a bastard. But Schméagol knows no fear. There are no complications in Schméagol's life. There is just do or die. And it's a very easy construct. And of course, I'm sad to say it, but Schméagol does give me the best poetry I can write. The best poems, they're dredged from the grim soil. It's soiled soil. You know, the grim detritus of Nigredo. So when you're down that low, it's like, and you come out the other side into a new world, and everything's upside down, but gravity still works.
Like when the Barbie went to the
When you
real
go,
world.
Yeah. Oh no, nothing like that whatsoever. You go, Ken. So.
No, like it's.
No, yeah,
like,
of course it was an alternative. Yeah, it's a flip world.
Yeah, and Ken was in like Barbie world, so
yeah,
she was in a very feminine world.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean,
he ended up, like he's so it's the Barbie movie. It's so prophetic. If you look at Ken,
was that pathetic?
Also,
yeah, prophetic. Yeah,
yeah, because like it's so many men nowadays. Like I meet Ken every day.
Yeah, well, there's so many Kens.
Exactly.
So, but just imagine it, like if you're at least 10 times a day, your clitoris swells up to about 7 or 8 times its usual size, and attached to it are 2 really sensitive body parts that just a flick will cause excruciating agony to ripple through your body.
Yep.
And it happens at the most inopportune times, and you can't help it, but it happens, and you've got to feel shame and guilt about everything attached to it. For example.
That's what they. That's what.
Okay, that's enough, Schméagol. Reared his ugly head there for a minute. Don't worry. Zip up. Give him a tranquilizer dart and he'll be out for a few. It's this non-alcoholic brewski stuff. It's making me all weird. Yeah, Schméagol does not approve.
I'm gonna give
you
a
were
line,
saying
the best line I find on Wikipedia or on Nigredo that I relate to, and I figured like, oh shit, like it's descriptive. Like I felt this way too.
We've all been there.
So they went through, I just copied it so I don't have the context now.
Right.
Check it out. So there's a paragraph. They are speaking about 2 senses of the word, and in the second sense, the Nigredo of the process of individuation.
Yeah.
On the other hand, is a subjectively experienced process brought about by the subject's painful growing awareness of his shadow aspects.
Yeah, that's very Jungian, but the individuation process, that's what the alchemists were trying to do to become better people, more whole people.
Yeah. It continues. It could be described as a moment of maximum despair that is a prerequisite to personal development. As individuation unfolds, so confrontation with the shadow produces a dead balance, a standstill that hampers moral decisions and makes convictions ineffective or even impossible. Nigredo, tenebrositas, chaos, melancholia.
Yeah, tenebrious means that it's difficult to hold and grasp. You can't grasp your shadow.
Yes, so I remember I felt this way in my late teens, maybe 16, 17,
I felt
18.
this way half an hour ago. How'd you get out of it then? What makes you so happy?
Did I
Hate happy people.
get away from the thing I went into after this period?
Yeah,
Because
because long-term despair means you can have the greatest fucking poetry in the world, and it still means you're the world's greatest underachiever.
Yeah.
You don't get it out, you don't communicate it. No one knows except you and Schméagol.
Yeah. And like this is I remember MGK, one of my favorite artists. Shout out to him. So he said, like, you need to keep. I'm paraphrasing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You need to keep yourself fucked up to keep creating, and in some sense, it is like it is true. It is true.
It helps.
Like,
well, yeah, I see what you mean.
You know, because you are entering like deeper aspects of yourself. You're getting to know yourself. Like, because you probably you trigger your shit.
Your inner senses. You go into a world within, right? You're enveloped in a world of the senses where
your instinct,
material reality doesn't matter.
Now I got it. Your survival instinct.
Yeah.
And then your minds just start like you try to make a sense like, oh, I'm in the deep shit now, like I need to figure this out. And so it is true. It is true.
Nigredo is basically the alchemical transformation is a metaphor or a sketch kind of the artistic creative approach. And as above, so below, where you reflect things that you feel from reality over to the artistic medium that you're pursuing. And no matter what it is, it can be interpreted in that way. So if you follow that path, I mean, you get some cool poetry out of it. I'm not going to lie. And Schméagol's happy.
Okay, do you think so? As I was mentioning, like I felt this way around the teen years, and you've been saying like if you reject that, you become to detach, right?
That is what ultimately happens, because then it will grow. Then you're not aware of you haven't personified your negative traits, so that your negative traits just weigh you down instead of being used in a creative way as an expression.
So my idea here is like many people. I'm thinking about Christianity, right? Like, you become aware of your shadow self. You should integrate. but you call it sinful nature and the works of the devil, and you reject it.
Yeah.
And then you try to replace it with some ritualism, with this
Well,
tribal.
that's what religion means. Ceremony. It becomes an empty ritual.
Yeah. You enter this tribal self-neglect.
Yeah.
Which could be really good definition of religion.
The sheeple's poet. You become part of the sheeple thing. The mass propaganda-induced population that is not allowed to think for itself. Because as soon as you ask an awkward question,
exactly.
Heretic! Burn him at the stake. Well, check if she drowns first.
Yeah.
Norwegian
way. Or
the which way?
Scandinavian. This is interesting because me personally, I was misled to this religious path. And that's what I'm very happy about. That
you saw the dark in the light. That you see the light, but you actually saw the light. You saw it for what it was.
Yes, and I had very, very, unfortunate experience. That these people.
I just hope it wasn't with small children.
No,
okay, we're not going Catholic.
No, they gave me their true colors. So I saw through their bullshit.
Yeah,
and I was like. Now it
and
it was like
dropped.
Yeah, it all made sense, and all my question when I tried to in my head to protect my family members who pushed me towards religion.
Yeah,
and it was like, nope, that's the real problem. That's the real shit. These religious
gurus, if you want to call
they
them.
They are only secondary problem. And I just run back to my shadow self, and I saw. If I would describe it, it would be. It would be some kind of
sect.
No. My shadow self.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to describe now.
Okay.
It's a bad motherfucker. He's like.
Yeah, is like
it's some kind of tiger or whatever it is.
Your totem animal.
Yeah, my totem.
Yeah.
Eagle, tiger, lion, wolf.
Yeah.
Something like that along this line. And I went through it like, hey, where have you been for 15 years?
Yeah.
I needed you all the time.
Yeah.
And he told me, you motherfucker, you kept me in the cage, and I couldn't help you. I wanted to, but I couldn't because you didn't. You
didn't give me freedom.
You splashed on me the sacred water.
Yeah, the holy ointments. Yeah.
All that shit.
Washing my feet all the time. Leave them alone.
Yeah. So now I'm wondering, people could be dealing with the same shit and misaligning themselves towards something that doesn't really make sense to them, and because I met so many people, I call them adult children. It's the person is 45 or 50 or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's a fucking child.
Yeah.
It's so it's awful.
Yeah.
And I don't mean you at all.
I didn't feel sort of threatened in any way, fingered out for some reason. I mean, I'm mature without the apostrophe, so I can take it. Yeah, one thing, I've killed my inner kiddie.
But
he's way back in the closet, crying in a corner, sobbing for himself. Schméagol feeds him once a week.
But you get your Schméagol. That's
I've got my Schméagol. Schméagol takes care of him. Keeps him scared.
But these fuckers,
scaring is caring.
They say, no, I'm all shiny, happy person. I have
Yeah,
no shadow self. You know?
happy people.
Like-
Yeah, those happy.
Mhm.
But it's like some Americans, not all Americans. I'm just quite a few. The first time someone told me they loved me,
Mhm.
that was a person who had absolutely no reason to bear really any kind of affection towards me, I know. So it's like, and you feel like you have to answer back. There's all the peer pressure of the group. It's like, I love you too. And when they say, like, have a nice day, with that look,
Yeah.
hallelujah, you are a sinner, son.
But we are too. But I think, like,
The only
okay,
saviour I need is holy cheeses. A slice of gorgonzola, that's enough for me.
but
Bit of holy cheeses.
just to stand for my Christian fellows, like the American way, it's the best way.
What?
Like it's the best version of Christianity.
The
Like,
only the bit with the snakes, where they throw rattlesnakes at each other and half of them die. The Lord will cure me. So that I like that one. That's a cool one.
no,
I'm
but what-
speaking in tongues.
Yeah.
That speaking in tongues.
that's the
Eminem.
shadow. That's the shadow self.
Yeah, that's the shadow self.
That's why
Yeah,
when
you
they
can become an auctioneer. You
That's-
heard them 10, 20, going up 5, 40, 50, that kind of thing. Or you can become like a rapper. So there's many opportunities for the speakers
In
of
the market.
tongues.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you can do with your tongue.
Yeah, but
Back in the
there's so
shadows.
much crazy stuff in. Okay, so about this charismatic Protestant.
Oh wait, homophone for the day. It stung its tongue. It stung its tongue. It stung its tongue. If you say that 10,000 times in your
Yeah.
head, you go mad.
But what they play with is like it's awesome. It's awesome to watch.
What we talking about the Christians with the snakes now, or
The Christians with this
they play with the psych.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they do, and the tools they use, it's awesome. Like it's the top level conman shamanism all together.
Well, it's
And-
taken away from the inherent meaning of shamanism, which can be is often a good thing,
Yeah.
depending
yeah.
on the shaman.
Yes, but conman as a
A
whole.
snake,
yeah. Anyways, so
Snake oil salesman.
What they play with is they attract broken people,
Yeah.
like with a lot of
Yeah.
troubles, with a lot of problems, and so on. And you, when you go into this group, you're desperate in some way,
Oh, you gotta be these days, mate.
and then they tell you like, it's very simple.
Yeah,
Just read the Bible, go to these sessions,
yeah.
and Holy Ghost will take care of everything.
Yeah.
So, and then it becomes interesting. So they speak in tongues. It's
Yeah.
just like it's a heavenly language, and
I think I'd be good at that.
and we all speak this language. So
Yeah.
then you enter
You
a
then you have to
place.
interpret it, right?
Now, like you sit there and everybody goes crazy around you, and
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
say, it's God, it's
Oh,
God.
it's a lot of it's like a rock and roll concert.
But it just starts.
Yeah.
Just like so you hear just a lot of noise around you. You're like shit.
Yeah.
And then it goes down. And then they play some music, right? And then the preacher goes like and explains, right? Explains. This is the power of the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
And we can make you financially successful.
Yeah.
Financially successful. We can heal you.
Oh,
We can give you superpowers.
just trust the inspector.
We can heal you.
Yeah.
Like everything you need
Yeah.
is here.
Yeah.
And it's in this.
It does sound enticing. Sign me on. Oh, both
And then-
me and Schméagol.
Yeah.
We want in on this deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got real snakes, Schméagol.
So, and if you pass this, all of this, and if you're this,
You got to the next level, though, didn't you? You were being groomed to be one of the gurus.
definitely,
Yeah, yeah. You were
Definitely.
gonna have your own congregation. You know, start maybe your off sect, or as opposed to. But if you're in a sect, insect, it doesn't sound good.
it doesn't sound good.
No, too
But
much specialization.
You know what I really love about myself? I love the truth.
Go on then.
I love the truth. I was
Yeah.
learned. I was.
And you are the truth.
I'm not.
No, you're a seeker of the truth.
Yeah, I'm
Just
a
to be
se-
clear,
yeah,
ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, he's. yeah.
When I realize
Yeah.
something is true, I say yes. I see this is true. I understand this is true. But when I see something is bullshit, I call it bullshit.
And that's what we do here on Outstrider podcast. You know.
Yeah,
If-
that's
if
what's
we
not
we smell.
popular.
Yeah.
But
might take us a while to find, but we will locate it sooner or later. Even the bullshit that might occasionally come out of our mouths through our inner Schméagol.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh God, the shadows left a mess again.
So I had to be like
Yeah, young guru. Yeah.
violently pushed into religion, like through social isolation.
media? Like
no.
hashtag Messiah.
No. But I was like 13, 14 when it started.
Impressionable age.
Yeah, so it was very crazy.
Yeah.
And I was pushed to these seances with these fucking gurus, Catholics, even worse than... That's what I'm saying. Like, out of all these hallelujah people
Yeah, the Anabaptist
are the
types.
best.
Yeah.
Are the best.
Yeah.
It's much... like it's improvement from
Yeah.
the Catholics.
Yeah.
It's like
I can understand the self-flagellants whipping themselves all the time through all
Crazy
those
shit.
impure thoughts.
and they believe, for example, that God can give you sickness and wants to keep you
or
poor.
spots when you're 13, 14.
Exactly, man.
Each zit is a sinful
And all you
thought.
dream about is pussy as a man or as a young boy, right?
Yeah, consensual.
And girls probably similar stuff.
Whoever dreams about
Anyways,
whatever. Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
let's not get technical.
I had to be pushed to it. So then I went through. I read the Bible, and I was like, oh shit! Like it doesn't align. Like, and my 55, 60 years old mother at the time.
Yeah.
She was pressing like Bible is the truth. She never read it.
Yeah.
I read it
Yeah.
before her. She
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, I was
So,
chatting with an intelligent
just
guy
saying.
the other day, and he said, you know, the synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, because they're from a different source than John, right?
Yeah.
And this guy, intelligent, educated guy, he said, the synoptic Gospels are the ones that are in the Bible, you know.
They are not. They don't know.
But it's something as basic
Yeah.
as that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
They don't know.
but,
and
yeah.
it proves a little bit the point. Like they reject their shadow self. They just try
Yes.
to make it disappear.
The Greek
And it
word
always
for your
lures-
shadow self is
Yeah.
daemon,
Yeah.
like DAE.
Yeah.
So demon,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So then the twisted version of that, but your demonic force, as in Mantrayana Buddhism and that, it's not necessarily of a negative force.
Exactly.
Although you
like
know,
the idea of yin and yang, the balance of
or yin
opposing.
Yangst. It's vexistential yin Yangst.
Yeah.
Because we're in the Spikegeist now.
Yeah.
And you know, the Spikegeist is a time where we have to self-reflect. We have to look. Did you know there's a genocide going on? You know, we have to reflect and look at things, the darker side of our own natures, in order to understand our limits of perception, the known unknowns, the unknown unknowns, and all that stuff. We have to try and fathom things that are just impossible to imagine.
Yeah.
So how? I mean, whether it was Harris or Drumpf, you know, it was both of them support genocide. So Israeli soldiers committing suicide, boo-hoo, deal of honour, because they got so traumatised by bulldozing women and children. And we're supposed to feel sorry for them. You know, without even being political about stuff, without taking sides, free Gaza, then just the twistedness of applying sympathy to someone who's so traumatized by bulldozing other human beings without even reflecting on the fact of the real victims. Yeah. It just staggers my mind. And so that's why it's an opportunity for some good poetry.
Yeah, and to build, I have to make a comment.
Yeah.
To build up on top of what you said, I think all you said is okay. I don't know exactly, but I assume in the conflict this stuff happened. Okay.
Yeah. It's
but
proved.
on top of it,
it's on TikTok.
On top of it, it's a part of a conflict between these. Okay.
These.
Okay. Conflict between Hamas, Hezbollah, okay, and Iran and Iranian proxies. So it all is true, right? So
yeah, with the Zionists.
So just to make it all make sense, and we can go back and forth.
Sure.
So the victims are Palestinian Arabs.
Palestinian Arabs, but not just Muslims. There was Christians and
like
know.
The population in Gaza.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also
the West Bank.
Israelis are victims.
For sure, the guys at the kibbutz, the kids at the festival.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. And in this confines, I would stop like, okay, these are victims, and that's the whole context of it.
Yeah.
So it's not only, just to make it all clear, it's not only that Israelis are committing
genocide. Well, that is the biggest thing.
Me personally, I don't know if I would phrase it that way.
There is a difference.
But
you
just,
can't
just to
phrase
make
it any other way. It's beyond proof.
I would definitely I don't want to appeal as being
a genocide denier.
Also, but simply alibist. But
or like giving someone an alibi.
No. Me, alibist. Myself. Like, I don't want to say. But
yeah, I see. Giving yourself.
I don't have
easy.
enough data at this point, and this is how I do things. Like, I focus on things I can control. I can influence, and when it's something obviously beyond my reach, then I normally don't don't go there. I am not like rich like Bill Gates, Musk, or even on a lower level. Like I'm not a millionaire yet, so.
But
maybe
you know
then
where
I would,
the journey into the state of Nigredo, that brought me to the realization that the guy driving the bulldozer, he's a victim as well.
Yeah.
And so the mass traumatization, in the times of slavery, it destroys the slave owners as well as the victims. I mean, in a different way, but you have to balance your sympathies.
I have funny thing here. I was playing yesterday the Utgård. You remember the game I told you?
Yeah, the one with the squirrels.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
nuts.
I played for the clan of Dragon.
Of course you did. Was that one of your totem wannabe animals? Yeah.
Now, yes.
Mine would be a plague rat.
And you know, actually the rat is there also. Anyways, so when you play for the dragon, you buy these slaves.
So that was self-defense.
I know. So you buy these slaves, and then you got this altar, and you always
sacrifice.
Sacrifice these slaves.
Yeah.
So you have to buy more slaves, and then sacrifice. Because first I felt bad for them. Like, oh shit, like this is not right.
Yeah.
But I did it because.
The squirrels needed more. Oh no, the dragons needed. Yeah, they needed stuff, right? And,
but you know where the thing shifted?
The wolf clan was threatening them.
Yeah, when the thing shifted in me.
Yeah.
When they, if you don't sacrifice enough, you got this red and green bar.
The dragons get sick.
And no. It goes back to red line, and when the red line is out, these fuckers, slaves, they go and rebel against you, so they kill you. So then I was like, oh shit! So this is then I was sending them to be sacrificed with joy, you fuckers.
Yeah, those bloody slaves. As soon as you get a civilization going, someone rebels and tears down your aqueducts, ruins your colosseums.
So that's where you should let your shadow person
Schméagol's nobody's slave, but I'm more of a emancipatory vibe type person myself, and we're all Spartacus at the end of the day. So we're all slaves to our shadow selves. So if we don't go down...
You mean we're connected?
Well,
or you mean being slave?
Not me and you as such, except through this medium of social technology. Interaction, yeah. No, but they are connected, and there's a connectedness between everybody. I mean, when shadows overlap each other, there is no distinction. They meld into each other, and that's kind of what
from person to person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So their distinctness of the shadow self is kind of linked to consciousness, and there are many links between the consciousness of everything living.
Yeah.
And that's something to recognize as well. That's what kind of brings you out of Nigredo and the end.
Yeah, when you become conscious.
Or the awareness. The awareness.
When it becomes mainstream.
When the subconscious, when you realize, when you find the exit sign and the secret back entrance escape tunnel out of Fritzl's hidden cellar below his bunker.
Yeah. Then you go and shout and tell people
looks
it's
looks
there,
small
it's
enough for a small child to squeeze through. just dislocate my shoulders and jaw, and we're all home free. And so the act of unificatio, which is also part of the alchemy trip, that is the group consciousness as well. Yeah. So isolation, unification. And stole that from John Brunner, great author.
That's cool.
So that is part of the process. Yeah. And as you probably gathered, and all you out there in sheeple land, I'm sure, I've only got part of the way through the whole process. So it's like alchemy for idiots. So my id, I know what the id is
nowadays,
but it's spelled with a silent IOT at the end. So I've got to the Nigredo. I'm really good at the Nigredo bit, right? I'm really fixing the Nigredo. Me and Schméagol, we're a power.
Dummies, you know?
Yeah.
For dummies.
Yeah.
It's much more human.
Yeah, but you know the problem is that it's all the other bits. But I'm great at Nigredo, and this is the age of Nigredo. You know what my New Year motto was last year and the year before that and the year before that? I told my wife, well, show 'em. That faraway look, 1,000-yard stare, fixed bayonets, charge. So don't wait till you see the whites of their eyes.
It's here.
Now it's here. My time has come. Demonic language and shit. If you rewind that, it says peace to all humankind. So our inner demons have to be confronted so that we can elevate ourselves above our sorry selves, in a way. Or go so low, this is my plan. You know what gets bigger the more you take away from it? A hole. The more you take away from a hole, the bigger and deeper it gets. Yeah. So my plan is to burrow all the way through Nigredo until I pop out the other side. I told you it was a sphere.
Wouldn't you say you're... Okay, how many steps are there in alchemy? But is it about psychological...
Yeah, psychological development.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Maturity.
Yeah.
So...
They had to call it other stuff.
You shouldn't fucking focus on one step
I know.
Such a long time.
I know. But that's why I ought to live for at least 872 years before I fulfill these steps. But I think if I can do one of those steps really well in the course of my lifetime, that is something. Instead of just sort of wishy-washy, bit of solutio there, unificato for a minute or two, and you're going on. Do a little toe
but
dip.
But isn't it like by being prepared for life, if you go through all the steps properly, that you are prepared for life?
Or death. Your whole life is preparation for death. Kind of. Which is, that was, Yeah, welcome to the age of darkness and...
you know what you're doing now? You are making
I'm dragging us all down to Nigredo, to my level.
And you're making our...
Depressed. Depressed is what you need.
But you are making our viewers be older and older and older. Because if like...
They wasted 50 minutes?
No, if 15 years old boy or, I don't know, even 20, and you will talk to him like... The whole life is preparation for death. You know, he goes like...
Well, we don't know that for sure because the dead have yet to, to throw in a comment on the subject. Yeah. But I was born undead, but I'm crap at deadlines.
So it is blackening.
It's getting darker.
Yeah,
it's getting darker.
It's blackening also here in Scandinavia, where the revenge comes from the north.
Yep.
I'm preparing a song with this name.
You don't say. See? Yeah. There you go. The creative time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got both sides, and
Yeah.
that's great.
In darkness,
And-
nobody hears you scribble.
I think this one comes from the dragon.
Oh, yeah, of course it is. Do you know, I went into I did a meditation trance thing to find my totem animal. And
Did you find it? You did? Is it squirrel?
No. If only. No.
It's a worm?
No, nothing is useful. No, it's it's gonna sound a bit erotica. A mandrill.
A mandrill?
Not a man drill.
What's that? Okay,
a
what's
mandrill.
that?
You know those apes
Show
with
me,
the most
show me.
colourful mandrill? They're the apes. They're the most stupidest ideas of nature because they're so colourful they can never hide, right? You know, in any camouflage, they could be in the trees, they could be underwater, they could be anywhere, and it's not just their face. You think, oh, you can hide.
Do you got it?
Yeah, you can hide your face. You want a picture though, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's say it's man drill. Their arses shine up like a fireworks display, you know, so that they can turn around. You can a lion or a leopard. It's so easy to spot them.
But actually,
The fact that they survive more than 5 minutes in nature, their evolutionary tree must be an absolute fluke. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of handsome, but their arses are blue. What's that with a blue arse? What the hell? What have you been eating?
but this
So that's a
guy,
mandrill.
this guy is a
That was
shaman in the Lion's King. Is it? I think it's this one.
Yeah, you might.
I think it's this
Yeah.
one.
Well, that's even. I don't trust Disney. If Disney says it's okay, then oh god, I've gone mainstream. You see,
Yeah. But
Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata.
Cheers. Have we come full circle now?
We kind of did.
Where did we start? I've forgotten where we started.
started
oh,
here.
the Age of Nigredo.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the Age of Nigredo.
I got just one more thing, and it's
Yeah.
movies. And there is this series of movies called Underworld. Have you seen it?
Yeah, Kate Beckinsale. Oh,
Probably, yeah.
super sexy vampire, werewolf, slaughter, killer.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
5 seconds
somebody,
of that and everyone's a feminist.
or maybe us, when we get the money, you know,
Blade
flow.
and the Underworld. That's the best vampire, werewolfy stuff in that genre.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of sub-genres. American Werewolf in London.
I love the Underworld. It
the
was
action stuff.
great.
Yeah.
I think something was missing there.
Oh, well, the head was missing. When that vampire was shoved into that propeller. Oh, that was in it, wasn't it? Or did I dream that?
I don't know.
I distinctly remember that bit. So I rewinded it a few times.
I think it's a good starting point for inspiration, build upon.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody has to make a proper storyline for 7, 12.
Well, how many did they
movies.
do?
I think
3 or
there
4?
was not more.
Was there?
5, 6.
What was Kate in all of them?
Yes, and I heard about some interviews she get tired of it.
Well,
And-
she was getting on, and it's really there's a lot of action in that stuff.
Yeah.
All that grimacing.
But yeah,
Nearly
but it was.
dislocated my jaw.
I think it was great, and yeah.
Yeah, and the Wesley Snipes stuff, the Blade stuff as well. So yeah.
That's more-
Outstrider podcast has gone into doing movie reviews now. So see Longlegs and what was it? Late Night with the Devil, New Shamanism. That's Because horror is going to be so huge. In the Age of Nigredo, just to get in touch with our shadow selves, it's going to be horror and dark comedy.
Yeah, tune in for it.
Yeah, so that's the way to go. And it's our time to shine when it gets darkest.
Yeah,
even if we
I think we got few topics. We always go for the psychology stuff.
We do, yeah.
We have to
paging Dr. Freud.
Come back a little bit.
Yeah, mother.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good.
And your fetishes with non-existent animals, you know. So at least a mandrill exists. A dragon is a mythological figure, isn't it? So it's not really real. So
no.
So okay, maybe I wouldn't last long in nature with my blue arse through the savannah there.
But I never said
there I can see his blue arse from miles away. So, let's try and get him before the hyenas do. Oh, no chance.
But I didn't say, like, the dragon is my favorite. I think dragon...
What's your totem?
I don't know. How am I going to find out?
What? No.
What should I do?
You do a trance thing.
Yeah.
And then before you know, it's a search for your totem animal, and the lady there was a bunch of us, and I tried to say that my totem animal was something else, and she knew I was lying.
And did you, but it's you who's got the image of how does it work?
She's talking, and she's leading us on a journey. Right, and it's you're supposed to touch the wood of the bridge we cross, and then it's over some grass and that. It's really relaxing. Okay. And then there's a jungle, right? And then it's like the story of Ganesha. The first animal that comes out of the jungle. It's like Shiva. He was off for about 13 years, and he comes home and he sees his wife Parvati in bed with a young lad, a strapping young handsome lad he was too. So Shiva, of course, not liking being cucked as a god, cut off his head. And Parvati goes, "Oh, you fucking idiot, that was our son. You've been away for 13 years. No, I haven't. Oh, well, maybe, because gods don't, time is relative and they're not related. So 13 years later, he cuts off his own son's head. And so he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, my dear. I'll make it good again. I'll give him a new head he was thinking on his feet there. He's, I'm in the shit now. I'm in the shit now. I'm going to have to pay for this, thinking really fast. The head of the first animal to come out of the jungle in the morning." And it could have been a mandrill if it's just the face. It could have been a tiger, It could have been a leopard. Could have been a cool bird. And it was a fucking elephant. So you got the biggest ears, you got a stupid nose that can be used in a dexterous manner, if you know what I'm talking about, ladies. But you got the elephant, and that Ganesh, right? And he's the god of good luck.
So
he wasn't lucky.
He's the
most unluckiest bastard in the world. I mean, it shows some kind of irony there.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, if they were Greek, they'd call them ironicals, because they're wink, wink. It's just madness. They got 1 million gods, so their god of good luck got his head chopped off by his own dad, and he got the head of an elephant stuck on it, which probably gets quite awkward. Because it's way too heavy for the neck. And the tusks, you got ivory poachers trying to grab your tusks all the time. Your ears get stuck in shit. Every time you go through a door, your ear gets stuck. Dumbo. You can flap them, but you can't fly.
These puppies of American Bulldog, I guess, or Stafford Terrier, when they are like puppies.
Right.
They have such a heavy and big head.
When their head's lol.
No. When they stay on their front legs, it's like, so they fall on their head.
Their heads are on they're like stuck by gravity. It's like And they're going, they're just crawling along, you know. So, I mean, yeah. But a head like that would snap anyone's neck, wouldn't it? So maybe the trunk gives it some balance.
So you are trying to gaslight us about your animal because you've been explaining to me the journey, the
It's kind of embarrassing saying that, speaking as a feminist, saying that my totem animal is a mandrill. A really colourful one.
Yeah, that's your...
My arse is blue.
That's your comedic... I mean,
that's the thing.
That's your comedic side.
Why are their arses blue? Is it bruises? What's been ramming that mandrill so hard? Is it other mandrills? That's the problem. When you've got too many mandrills all together.
How is the female called?
No, they're mandrills as well. So they got the strap-ons. They're drilling the men as well. There is no respite. There's no escape. And you have to stick together because that's the only safety in numbers on the savannah. Because your arse is blue, your face is the united colours of Benetton, seen from a mile by any predator.
If I go...
You've got to stick together. You've got to take the drilling.
If I go on this journey...
It's a nightmare.
So you just...
I don't want to be a mandrill.
Lie there with some therapist, or what is she called?
A therapist?
Yeah, no, you told me like...
Parvati, the goddess? No, I'm lying with something?
You forgot already. You were explaining to me...
Yeah.
That how you get your totem animal.
Oh, yeah, the trance.
Yes.
With this lady, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, when you said lie with a lady, I thought you was talking about the mandrills. But, yeah. So you go on this trance, and then your totem animal
it's all
is
in your
supposed to
image.
appear.
You lie there or whatever?
Well, first I said it was a tiger, and she looks at me and goes, it wasn't a tiger, was it? No, it was a mandrill. No, yeah, how can they sit down?
So you have to come with me, because
on a journey
to
find your totem animal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, between Schméagol and the mandrill, I'm sure we can stake out a path. We'll do that. It'll be a project, right? I'll help you find your totem animal. And don't be disappointed.
Okay.
But if it's another mandrill, this podcast is over. It's best we go our separate ways. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, so guys, thank you.
Look out for the mandrills.
Definitely. Thank you for your attention. You bared with us. And tell us what you wish was your totem animal.
Yeah.
And
the reason for it.
And the name for your shadow self.
Oh, yeah.
Give us some interesting ones. And
join us as we continue in the Age of Nigredo.
Hit the subscribe button and the bell and all that shit.
The notifications.
So we annoy you.
Share us around like some innocent mandrill in a group, in a posse.
Because we
make our asses blue.
And you are the same.
There are no borders between us, only frontiers to explore. No hinterlands to conquer, oceans are but a distant shore. Outstriders, leap from frame, gutting pain. From every loss, no trenches dug divide us, only thresholds yet to cross. God, you made me talk about my totem animal. I was trying to avoid that. I got an idea about